fanatics out there, glad you are here with us on another edition of Gridiron Gab Pro Style, where we gab about all things pro football, from the scoops of the regular season to the scores of the postseason and the picks of the off season. Let's start gabbing. Welcome back, Gridiron Fanatics. As you can tell, it's been a busy weekend. I am Mr. CeeLo, bringing you all of the details. Seems like the running backs are dominating this weekend. I'll start with a quote. If I die tonight, Jonathan Taylor is out of the league. No one's going to miss us. You know, when an owner says something as asinine as that, he needs to just sell the team. And I mean, no offense to any Colts fan. You may like a guy like Jim Irsay, but me personally, you're nobody. You just own the team. Now, I'm not going to get into my aspects of that. I'm going to talk about Jonathan Taylor has issued a trade request. And Irsay, like the jerk that he is saying that he's not going to do it. But of course, that's what a lot of owners said. You know, Houston said the same thing when they said what they said about Deshaun Watson. But before I get into all of that, guys, I want you to go to the Facebook page, please. Leave us comments on this. I'm actually going to open. This is going to be the first video I open the comments up for. I want you guys to speak freely, because the running back position is already being killed by certain analytics and whatnot. And the running backs like this, Jonathan Taylor, yes, I understand they have great offensive line, but this team lived and died by this guy. Okay, and on top of that, you do have Gardner Minshew on but your goal is to get Anthony Richardson out there. Anthony Richardson's not your quintessential quarterback. He's not your prototypical quarterback as far as slinging it down the field. You're going to need a running game, and what better running game do you have? A guy whom, just a few years ago, ladies and gentlemen, we have to totally look at this in its totality. This is a guy that ran for 1,811 yards just 1 year ago. He had injuries last year. He carried the ball darn near half as much, but he had almost 1,000 yards then. Had 18 scores. 2020, his rookie year, he still had almost 1,200 yards. This is a guy who had carried the ball almost 140 times less last year, and he had 861, but everybody was teeing off on him. And Matt Ryan, but Jonathan Taylor is a superstar running back. And then let's look at what he also does in the passing game. He has 40 grabs in that 21 year. He had 360 more yards, so he had 2,100 scrimmage yards. This guy's not your quintessential all-purpose back, but he was getting there. Any back that you can say has the amount of yards that he has. Now, he's not on the Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara / Austin Eckler level, but a lot of that has to do with quarterback play. People. So when you sit and you say, oh, he's not that valuable. But Jim Irsay, to claim he knows business, he ain't very bright. And he's been known for making a lot of just asinine comments. I'm not going into Irsay. This ain't about Irsay. But this needs to be a start of where if these guys are going to make these type of statements, they need to sell the team. You want it to be old school? Go back to old school. The NFL's not old school anymore. These attitudes that you want to live by don't exist anymore. Because here's the reality. This guy's been the most productive player you've had. You've been searching for a quarterback. Now you have Anthony Richardson. The best weapon you can have to develop this guy is Jonathan Taylor. He's been the best player on your team. So what sense does it make? And then you say you don't want to trade him. Houston's already like, hey, we'll take this guy. So why in the world would you hold this guy? You're saying you don't want to trade him, but you don't want to pay him either. Anyway, reading from an article by Jeremy Fowler and Stephen Holder, the Colts running back struggled last season as Indy went 4-12-1. Or say you went 4-12-1. 4-12-1. Then you brought Jeff Saturday in. Huh? Really? You brought Jeff Saturday in. And I got nothing against Jeff Saturday, one of the greatest centers of all time. But you brought Jeff Saturday in? Okay. Enough said. Taylor, who's entering the fourth season, wanted a lucrative extension, but it came clear it wasn't going to happen. And that's another thing with this whole running back market being sauced away, as I call it, and just totally just thrown out the window. To me, if anybody had a chance to make the running back market go back up, would have been the Colts. And to me, these organizations want players to act in good faith. This right here is the reason why you see a lot of players being so vigilant in getting their money. The ones that they want, guys like a Joe Burrow, guys like Justin Herbert, they're going to take all the money. They're not. Those are the guys that are going to have to make the steps. And I remember hearing T.J. Houshmandzadeh say something about it's got to be the quarterbacks that make these moves, and things will get better. As you saw what Tennessee was trying to do. But I'm not trying to make this about the running back. I'm making this about, this is about Jonathan Taylor, and I'm going to stick to it. But Irsay's been pushing back against running backs who claim the position is unpaid. And like my thing is, I understand that you think the position is unimportant, but there's going to be what's going to happen is there's going to be a team that's running the football that is going to either win a championship or get close, and they're going to reposition themselves on how the running back position is paid. But I don't want to get into that. But the way this happened yesterday is Irsay supposedly invited Taylor for a private conversation Saturday night during Colts practice. My only assumption in that conversation is that Irsay basically told him he was expendable. We're not doing this, we're not doing that. Deal with it or whatever. That's what my take on it is. And that right after that, Taylor said he wanted a trade. And I can't blame him if he feels like that the $5 million that he's getting, which he's produced well over that. These guys are not, this guy here has been such a good producer, and he's been a huge part of what Indy has done, of what they were in 2021, having 1,800 yards. And, you're talking about a team that for the most part is 9-8 that year and made the playoffs. And people are going to say, oh, it was Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was not that good that year. I'm just going to put that out there. And I love Phillip Rivers. San Diego LA Chargers got the best of him. They got the best of Phillip Rivers. And Jonathan Taylor was a guy that was the reason behind their success. He had 1,800 yards that year. And they finished with 9 wins. As good as this guy was, all you got was 9 wins? Irsay, you ain't close. You need this guy. And if you're basically saying in a nutshell you're going to hold on to a guy and not see what the Texans are going to offer you. Now, I don't believe his BS. I think he's one of the most BS type of owners out there. It sell newspapers, but as far as having any kind of integrity, or he has no ethics. He's not an ethical person. You're a hypocrite. You ask these players to show some type of ethics and integrity, but you don't do the same. We've seen this throughout history. And sports shows how really ugly the world is. And this is out in public how they act. But yeah, Jonathan Taylor deserves to get paid. There's a lot of backs that are out there griping, but the reality of it is that the position is not getting the show that it deserves. And Jonathan Taylor definitely is not getting what he deserves. And we can look past that and start looking that as we see Irsay doesn't plan to trade him. And judging by what I'm reading here from Jeremy Fowler, it says what's next. He's saying that multiple sources have said that Taylor's incensed about his situation has been for a while. And of course, this comes from Taylor's agent. That this situation has been unrepairable for a while. And of course, I'm pretty sure this is going to make it worse. And he also went on to say, and that as well as Kawa tweeting, it's bad faith not to pay your top offensive player may have been a ratcheting cause of this. And of course, Irsay with the Colts are taking a firm position, unequivocal statement about refusing the trade. I'm just of the situation that you have to pay your best player. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. This is a situation, if Irsay wants to be a part of mediocrity, and of course I've always been one that said that if an owner wants to go off on these tangents and not pay their players to be competitive, they need to sell the team. Everybody needs to be up for competition. That's what we're here for. But yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor needs to explore options and see if he can set up a trade of his own. The Texans say they want him. And I've read an article that said that they'd be willing to take, and I'm sure they will. They have to see this guy a couple of times. The Texans would love to have their backfield. Just judging by what the Houston Texans have in C.J. Stroud, there have been good things coming out about this guy as well. Looking at, they have Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, but Pierce was your power back. And of course they got Devin Singletary. I would say at the end of the day, this is not a good situation. Irsay needs to give the man what he wants, or make a deal with him, get a trade. But right now you don't have any stock, or you don't have any kind of bargaining power. He's your best player. You need to do what's best for the team. Right now, your team is not very good. You have a career backup whom I think could get a shot, but at the same time, Gardner Minshew has never been the guy that people look at as the guy, or a bridge quarterback to Anthony Richardson. And with Jonathan Taylor, if you have Jonathan Taylor, you can get the ball inside the red zone, you can bring him in. And with that Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson connection, you can be competitive. But not with that death attitude. Anyhow, hit me up on the Facebook page at Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Let me guys know what you think. I'm going to leave the comments open on this one. You guys comment at will. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think we can do to make things better. I appreciate all your feedback. And at the end of the day, guys, if you guys have, also go check me out on Growlin' and Prowlin'. If you love the Carolina Panthers, look me up over there, as well as look me up on Gridiron Gab Triple Option if you love college football and the stories of college football, as well as if you love the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Look me up over there on Talk Like a Champion. Check out my vids there, and I've got a couple that I need since the first day of fall camp. It's crazy, fall camp, July. As I said, till the next time, till we meet again, same Gab channel, same Gab platform.